Start recording. Okay, so this is game 1 or game 2 of Youngstown Youngins. Did I get that name correct? Let me check my Discord. Uh-huh. Youngstown Yetis. Okay, I got it wrong. So this is a game between Youngstown Yetis and Team Red, which I don't know what their name is. So basically, we're gonna do a review of their scrim, and I've already watched this game beforehand. I did know the Youngstown Yetis won this, and we're gonna wait. There's no volume. Okay, there is volume. Okay, so we're gonna see how well they do. So we're gonna speed it up.
Attackers incoming.
Skip 20 seconds.
Ready for battle. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend
Okay,
objective A.
so attacking team Red goes with the Widowmaker, and they're going with sort of not really a brawl comp, but something that works well at range. So they have actually, yeah, based on what I remember, they're going for the Hanzo Zarya combo. That means the Graph Dragon combination, and this is something that they like. And then they're probably gonna do Nano Boost along with the Graph Dragon to increase the damage. And they're gonna rely on their Widow to get picks on this point so that they can roll over. So Youngstown, so I shall call this blue team the Yeti. So the Yetis actually defend on this platform here, which is a good spot. So generally in this map, there are two spots you want to control, either this platform here, or you can control this platform here, or you can control this platform here. Oh, sorry, three spots in general. But this platform is kind of gone out of fashion. It was in fashion like 2-3 years ago, when you could have a lot of range heroes when Orisa was really strong, and you can have range heroes and just camp here. But in general, when Reinhardt team combinations were more popular, you probably want to play around this platform here, which is good. So you can see that the team has to rotate over here. So in this case, yeah, the Widow is alone. Generally speaking, you could, if you dedicate a hero to try and chase down the Widow, it is kind of risky because the enemy team can collapse on them. But or you could crush this team, which is here, 6v5. So that's an option as well. So generally, red team will be trying to poke to farm for their graph, to farm for their Graph Dragon, because unless their Widow gets a pick, they're not going to be able to have numerical advantage while fighting this platform. They're going to lose a 6v5. Okay, so basically our off-tank Dusty Taco here basically just needs to deploy the shield to shield off the Widow, and she should be focusing his shots on the enemy team here. So you can see that Cozy is struggling. Do we have our healers? So Rocker is on the Mercy, dropping low. And who is our second healer? The second healer, I remember, he is on high ground. Let me check. Second healer is... Oh, why is he here? But somehow he took some damage. But I suppose he could jump up. Yep, and he does. Jump up, heals. Kind of panics a bit. Throws the immortality field. Okay, good healing, and I like that Cozy actually takes cover over the pillars here. So very good. And because the Sigma redeployed his shield, and they get picked. So DPS goes down. Falling back on this point. So as you can see, falling back on this point, you are in the sight of the Widow. So the only good place to fall back to will be in this hole here. And occasionally try and contest the point and try to lure the enemies into this portion. But either way, it's going to be a hard fight. because you guys are one man down, the Yetis are one man down. So we're just gonna try and buy as much time as possible to wait for yeah, basically actually hiding in here to buy time to wait for their DPS to come back is also another option, because basically you just want to buy time and get away from the range of the Widow. Oh, nice work there. So you managed to get a pick on the enemy Ryan. So that evens out the odds. It's a 5v5 and you guys have the numerical advantage here, because your shield is still healthy and the Ryan pushes forward. Yep, so the rest makes it a 5v5. Okay. Yep, so you guys have the numerical advantage on point. You guys managed to win the fight. Okay. So somehow, good scrappy win is a mistake by the enemy Reinhardt to, I think he got his shoe broken, I guess. So a mistake there. And maybe also a mistake from the enemy healers, who is not pocketing their Rhine. But as you can see, Team Red, their win condition is actually the Graf Zara combo, the Graf Dragon combo, and they are close to getting it. So their Zara just need to farm a little bit more damage. And they have it now. So let's see. Yeah. Okay. So this is pretty good Graf Dragon. This idea of throwing the Graf up there, initially it struck me as kind of weird. Why would she want to throw the Graf up there? And it happens so that this lamp, this immortality lamp by the Baptiste, actually has a limited range when it's covering the vertical distance here. So he didn't throw it in time to save the Genji, that's one. And as you can see, the Sigma actually gets put out of the immortality lamp's range by the Graf. So he's covered by the lamp here. But as you can see, as it hovers a little bit higher due to the Graf, he gets out of range of the immortality field and he dies to the Dragon Strike. So pretty good idea there. This is something I guess Zara players can practice. So maybe your off tank, which is Dusty Taco, you could probably just try and steal and learn this technique. In order to practice this, you probably want to like just play Zara a lot in either quick play or ranked games, and just look for every opportunity to throw your Graf on the upside. That means throw your Graf upwards. So it's probably going to take practice, because there are probably limited spots where you can do it. You can't do it in the open like this, obviously. So you have to do it when there are pillars, or when there's sort of like a wall, something like a wall here. So there has to be a kind of surface for your Graf to stick onto in order to suck the enemy team upwards. So this probably takes some getting used to as a Zara player. You probably want to just maybe play a lot of quick play and with a lot of Zarya, and at every opportunity you can try to throw your Graf upwards to try and stick it onto walls or pillars to try and suck enemy players upwards. So a good Graf Dragon there. There's nothing much you guys can do, because your Baptiste did do his job. He did throw his immortality field, but the Graf was so good that there was nothing the immortality field could have done. Okay, so we get that point, and let's move to point B. So in point B here, I moved a little bit too much, so let's zoom back a little bit. Okay, so if the cap, okay, so your flex DPS actually once picks Widow and tries to 1v1 duo the enemy Widow, but he lost that. But since we have Mercy, right, so we could rest her back up. But at the same time, enemy Reinhardt pushes forward. Okay, so slight mistake by your off tank here, Dusty Tackle, because the Sigma Shield actually blocks incoming enemy heals. So if you have kept the Sigma Shield here, what's it here? Watch. So enemy Ryan actually jumps past your Sigma Shield here. So if you have kept your shield up, you have been blocking enemy heals from reaching his Reinhardt. and there will be a good chance to focus down on the enemy Rhine. So it's in a way it's similar to a Mei Ice Wall, but obviously not that effective. Like you can't prevent the Zara from coming through and helping out, but at least you could block enemy heals, and you could impose a little bit more pressure on the Reinhardt that way. So by taking down his wall so quickly, that was kind of like a mistake from the off tank there, from the Yetis off tank. Yep. So imagine if the Sigma Shield wall, let's say if it was still up, so you could have been blocking quite a number of Baptiste heals, block a bit of Ana heals, as well as maybe being able to block this immortality field from reaching their tanks. So there's something for Sigma players to remember as well. That means your shield, other than blocking damage, you can think of your shield as blocking enemy healing. So think of it as a way to isolate the enemy tanks. Acts a little bit like a Mei wall. Prevents like support skills from reaching the enemy tanks. So you could probably practice using your shield in that kind of manner as well. Like rather than thinking of it just purely as a shield for blocking damage, you can think of it as a shield for blocking enemy heals. Okay, so even though you guys lost your Widowmaker, it's not really a big deal. Your Widowmaker switched over to Doomfist to try and get back quickly. So, big deal there. Okay, and your Doomfist went YOLO, but he managed to get killed. In a way, Doomfist against Widow, yeah, it's kind of a good matchup, because once your Doomfist can reach the Widowmaker, there's probably nothing much she can do. So I think he might win. Nope. He almost won the 2v1 there. He almost killed the Widow as well. So he killed the Hanzo, and he almost killed the Widow too. But the Ana was there to support. But anyway, you guys already won this fight. So the tanks push forward to try and get more frags. Okay, unfortunate that we didn't get a kill on the Reinhardt there. So by not getting that kill, we kind of helped their Ana get nano boost. Okay, so they now have a McCree. So the McCree at the same time is a good counter for our Doomfist player. So he probably got flash and hit shotted, and they're trying to push in with a numerical advantage. Yep. So imagine, the same time this Sigma shield, if could have been a little bit more forward, like if you can position the Sigma shield a little bit more forward, think of it as blocking the Ana and Baptiste heals rather than blocking damage. You guys could have probably killed the enemy Reinhardt a little bit easier. So really good Earth Shatter from Cozy there. It clutched out and won you guys that team fight. Really good Earth Shatter. So there was a clutch Earth Shatter right there. Yep. So you guys pushed forward, cleaned up, which was good. So you're able to farm more ultimates, get more damage done. Okay. So at the same time, we noticed that since they switched out of the Hanzo, that means Scroots, who was previously the Hanzo player, switched out to McCree in order to counter the Doomfist. They no longer have the Graph Dragon combo, so they no longer have a win condition. So their team comp is kind of iffy, man. It's like you're thinking to rely on the Widow to get picks, but if the Widow doesn't get any picks, then there's nothing much you can do to push forward. Even if the Zara throws a Graph, you guys could easily throw an Immortality Field, and they have nothing. They don't really have like a big damage ultimate that could kill off your team. So normally speaking, you guys would have a huge advantage here. The Yetis would have a huge advantage, and I don't see how Red Team can actually cap point B, because they really don't have a win condition. Like the win condition is just having the Widow get a pick, and now they realize it, so they switch over. The Widow Maker switches over to Junkrat to kind of like spam damage either down the mid lane or from the sides. Yep, so your flex CPS goes to Echo, which is okay. So Echo goes pretty well with our Mercy here. And at the same time, obviously the 1v1 against the McCree is going to be tough. It depends on Echo's skill, but if you have the Mercy pocketing her, that 2v1 fight is going to favor the Echo Mercy. And at the same time, just so happens that Echo is a good counter for Junkrat, but they didn't know that. So they didn't see the Echo before they switched to Junkrat. So they're currently stuck with a matchup that favors Yetis as well. Due to him, what? Okay, so that's a really good pick from the McCree there. And I want to see how our Echo player gets picked. Where's our Echo? Tip, tip, tip. Okay. So this map is actually pretty good for flying heroes like Pharah. For Echo, limited usage. So the Echo is, whoa, really in not that great a position. Let's take a look. Okay, look, sure. A little bit before this.
Taking off.
Okay, goes Echo. Let's take a look at what Echo does.
Going free.
Okay, going high ground. Spam damage. Yeah, you could probably do a little bit more poke. Okay, so he rotates over, sees that the enemy is coming down on her. Flies up. Okay. The Echo got greedy here. So I would have normally thought the Echo should have, in that kind of instance, should have rotated back to her Mercy. Because her Mercy is somewhere at the point, right? So the Echo should have probably rotated back to the Mercy because there's a McCree there. And the McCree can easily get a headshot and kill her. But instead, the Echo got greedy to try and flip around to take this off angle, thinking to maybe use this part as a cover, but at the height that she was flying, I don't think she could reach. Let's check again. Okay. Okay, let's slow it down. Okay. Okay, so this poke was still okay, but you can see that she's at 130 health here. So one headshot is gonna kill her. And probably one headshot and one body shot, or two body shots are gonna kill her. And in this case, she should have rotated back to point. But seems like she's trying to get to this off angle. And you can see that she has already used her flight and she's on the way down. So there's no way for her to get any cover. And she dies. Yeah. So she's right out in the open there and dies. So mistake by the Echo there. And enemy team has a numerical advantage. They want to push this fast. So yeah, they're pretty slow here. This rotation by the red team is pretty slow, which gives your Echo player a lot of time to get back. Okay, so yeah, so he's using McCree out, and you can probably just deploy a shield. Yeah, so you probably just deploy a shield and chill. Okay, the shield gets broken, but you guys managed to find cover, so nobody gets picked. That's good. This is where your soldier is. Soldier 76 has a pretty good location up at the high ground, so he knows what he's doing. Probably don't have to comment too much on that. That's a good position for a soldier. So this position not too bad for our Baptiste, but kind of vulnerable, I guess, because if the enemy realizes he was here, they could easily have pushed in to the cubby here, and the Baptiste would have died. So manage to throw down Immortality Field, keeps your Reinhardt alive, and this is another instance of where the flanking McCree from Team Red was not punished. So you can see that the McCree actually walks to this position by himself. He was originally with his team, right? Because he used his Deadeye behind his tanks. So his Deadeye didn't get any picks. And yeah, we can have a Sigma out. So he wants to avoid the Sigma out and he rolls out here. So he is isolated. The McCree is super isolated. So this is a really good time to get a pick on the McCree here. But that would be the job of your soldier who is trying to rotate to a better position. Your Echo is in spawn. And probably your Baptiste is trying to get a fuse. No, your Baptiste is busy healing the Rhine. Okay, 76 users is out here. So, oh wow. He manages to get a pick on this outing 76. Yeah, so this is where, yeah, McCree gets unpunished because you guys were focused on trying to fight the enemy tanks. And there really should have been some kind of call on like McCree alone at the point or McCree alone below the bridge. Then probably maybe just the off tank, like Cozy could have still helped there. Maybe just the off tank could rotate around because just the Baptiste and the off tank 2v1 there should be able to clean up the McCree there. Yeah, so instead, McCree runs free and even manages to pick the Baptiste and picks the Mercy. Yeah, he's just super unpunished. You can see how fragile he is. He dies to just one Sigma volley and one hammer swing. So the McCree is easily killable. So if you guys had like noticed or like focused down on him much sooner, like once he rotated to here, like McCree alone on the left, then you could just like rotate, pick him off, or like McCree alone below the bridge near mega health. Then the tanks or at least the off tank could rotate around and just kill him, man. So the enemy McCree was way too unpunished in all the games. In I've seen all 5 games and I've noticed that he just goes unpunished for too many off angles. Okay, so you guys decide to hold here. Holding here is... It is fine since you guys have a Baptiste, I guess. So Plumper would have been nice if Plumper could get a little bit of high ground, like maybe around here. Like this high ground is not too bad. And yeah, Plumper dies forward. He's gonna die here. Oh, doesn't get punished. Yeah, so Plumpapa pushes too far ahead, almost dies. Because he pushes ahead of his tanks as a solo McCree, which is bad. And Johizi here actually that takes decent position. Actually shouldn't have dropped down, should have stayed on the high ground. If he had stayed on the high ground, yeah, he could have fought this enemy soldier 1v1 and he would still be in the range of his healers. So by dropping down to get that health pack, which is truly unnecessary because if you're here, your Baptiste and your Mercy can easily heal you. So dropping down just to get the health pack was truly unnecessary. Or you could have dropped his, if he was really desperate for heals, you could have dropped his own healing pack and just heal. So instead he loses position and the enemy 76 actually gets a really good high ground there to shoot at you guys from the flank, forcing the McCree to try and find an angle to get him, and at the same time, yeah, you guys are really divided here. So McCree goes to the left to try and get the DPS on the left, while the main tank here is really isolated. And where's our off tank? So off tank is, yeah, kind of far. Okay, for the Sigma, shooting from here, I guess, is fine but Sigma players normally actually deal a lot more damage if you're able to get some sort of an off angle, but I'm trying to see from this particular map. I think the only decent off angle you could get is probably here. Like maybe you could position yourself here and just shoot the enemy from this angle. So other than that, this is the only angle, but it's so easy to block Sigma damage using a Rhine shield that I just feel like the Sigma could have had a lot more impact if could have found like something like off angle here. Obviously, you can't go up here without like a Mei wall to elevate you up. But at least this position is pretty safe. If the enemy tries to push you from here, you can easily drop down, go back to the point and get healing from your healers. But at least this location for a Sigma, just like where your 76 is standing, is a pretty good angle for Sigma. Shield wise, you could just deploy your shield, like you could position it somewhere around here, like flash a shield around here, block some of the enemy attacks. Or like I mentioned, try to position it to block enemy healing. Like once you see the Reinhardt and Zarya push forward, then you deploy your shield to cut off the enemy from healing them. At the same time, from the off angle, you can like spam your volleys and your damage on the enemy tanks as well. Another good Earth Shatter from Cozy there. Okay, pretty good shatter. And actually, this Baptiste window was kind of behind the. You're supposed to deploy it in front of your McCree, but it was kind of behind the McCree. But the McCree did his job anyway. So really good Earth Shatter. We'll combine with the McCree out. Managed to clean up enemy team.
Der Kampf ist noch nicht vorbei.
Okay. So, like we mentioned, the red team there really has no win condition. I mean, originally they had a Junkrat, but they switched out of the Junkrat when they saw your Echo, and now that they switched to 76, they really have no win condition. So, if you look at team rate's composition, there's like almost no way that they can win, because what can they do? Nano boost the Reinhardt. I hope the Reinhardt gets picks. If they're gonna use Deadeye, it's really easy to block Deadeye with a double shield combination because you have both Reinhardt and Sigma. At the same time, 76 ultimate, Soldier 76 ultimate is also very easily blocked by double shield as well. Previously they were running a Zarya, so her grasp didn't really do anything against a Baptiste immortality field. So yeah, I think you guys should have full health here.
60 seconds remaining.
I can't remember if Yetis actually full health. Let's take a look. Okay, so put forward a bit. Yeah. So for the Yetis tanks, you want to note that you do not want to get in front of the Sigma shield, because just like I mentioned earlier, if you get in front of the Sigma shield, your healers can't heal you, especially your Baptiste. Or if you're running an Ana, your Ana can't heal you. So you really want to like stay away from the Sigma shield. Like prevent yourself from going beyond the Sigma shield. Okay, so as usual, they can't go down the middle. They have to rotate to the right, and it's really easy for you guys to defend this. So they spend the extra like 5 to 7 seconds rotating to the right, and your Reinhardt can easily defend this corner. Oh, wow! So the McCree goes on a huge solo flank, manages to get a pick on your 76, but he does get punished by your Plum Papa there, because it was 1v2 there, right at the flank. Okay, so in this case, you guys have the advantage, even though it's 5v5, because you guys have defender spawn. So that is where at least the red McCree gets punished for once. Oh, how did Soldier get a pick on your Baptiste? What, like how? Oh, they're using, so they use Baptiste window. So they used the Baptiste ultimate, and I think the DPS was a little bit too much for your off tank and your healers. Okay, so rezzing the off tank, that's a good one. So Sigma out comes online, but basically, yeah, you guys actually have the defenders always have the advantage here when it's a same number fight. So it's when it's a 5v5. So good shatter. There was an out from the enemy McCree. Yeah. Okay, you guys went beyond the pillar. What? The what? What? Ouch. Wait, how do you guys lose that fight? Like, was it Earth Shatter? Wait, has Cozy used his Earth Shatter yet?
10 seconds.
I want to look a little bit earlier than this.
30 seconds remaining.
Oh, yep. As you can see, yeah, this position, yeah, not that great for a Baptiste. Okay, back. So that position in the cubby, they're not that great for a Baptiste because once the enemy sees a Baptiste is there, they can easily rush in and kill him. At the same time, in this case, the McCree just manages to see him from here and just pokes him out with McCree shots. So probably better positions for Baptiste would be here. Like since you can crouch jump, you can crouch jump and get yourself some high ground around here. So this is really good. You get vision of your whole team, almost your full team from here. And if your DPSs are holding a flank position here, for example, let's say a soldier and McCree is holding here, you can just rotate around, throw them a few heals, and then instantly switch back and keep healing your tanks there. So this position would have been a lot better rather than that cubby there because it's too close to the enemy. Or even if you couldn't get up to the high ground, even staying on the low ground, like somewhere here where it's out of line on sight of the enemy. So the enemy can't see you around this statue here, this big sarcophagus statue, the coffin statue. Then at the same time, you could like pop around, lob some heals, heal your team. At the same time, you could like just AD here, pop some shots into the enemy squad because they're all clustered there, so you can just blindly shoot some shots there. So yeah, the Baptiste could have been in better positions. So that was how the Baptiste died. Not in a very good position. Plum Papa tries to do a right click, gets low, really low. So Rocker didn't heal him. Oh no. Oh, Rocker was turning around trying to rest. The off tank. Wait, how did the off tank die?
30 seconds remaining.
Oh, due to Baptiste window? Tank. Okay. His shield, so he deploys his shield. He keeps his shield. And he gets poked down. Yeah. That was bad timing to keep his shield there. I think he kept his shield right before the Baptiste launches out. So yeah, he got instantly burst down. Just bad timing. Unlucky. Like what Jane would say, unlucky. Okay, so we are down pretty much, but yeah, defenders spawn advantage. So you guys still had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 heroes here, just without the Baptiste, and they still do not have their soldier, right? So soldier is still running back. No, is that soldier or McCree? No, the McCree is still running back, so they're still without their McCree. So technically it's a 5v5 fight. Immortality Lamp has been used, and that's a massive Earth Shatter. But seems like the lamp is still up. You guys have to kill the lamp. So I only see the off tank Sigma shooting at the lamp. The lamp is still up. Okay, finally it goes down. But this buys enough time for their Rhine to get nanoed. Oh, so their Rhine gets nanoed. Like has like a billion health, doesn't die, and he lands his Great Shatter, and they clean you guys up. Yeah, their soldier launches is out. You guys get anti-naded. Okay. Yeah, now I can see why you guys lost this. I think all that stemming from their immortality lamp staying up for a bit too long. Like there wasn't enough focus fire to kill off the lamp, I guess. And somehow you guys pull this back. I mean, due to defender's advantage, crazy, but somehow you guys pull this back. I mean, Johizi did great there. Johizi launches out, right? Yeah, launches out, got a pick. And yeah, Johizi actually saved you guys this fight, yeah. Ugh, that was scary there. Had there some real big heroics from Johizi there in order to ensure that they didn't double cap. Okay, so we kind of held.
Initiating match. Three, two.
Okay, so we're attacking. And we're going with Speedy Broadcom. Okay. Okay, I approve. Speedy Broadcom. So Broadcom with a Lucio. So hence, Broadcom with a Lucio, yep, I like how this is going. So the Maywall blocks incoming enemy damage. Everybody runs to the left, and you guys try to speed through this choke point to try and fight the enemy head on. And your win condition is pretty easy. That would be the Graph. You could either Graph Blossom or you could Graph with May Blizzard. And anyone that's caught in the Graph as well as Death Blossom or the Blizzard should be killed. As long as let's see, Team Red doesn't have any. Yeah, so they're no longer running a Baptiste because they're running an Echo Mercy. Which somehow just so happens to kind of counter Broadcom because you guys don't have a hit scan now to deal with the Echo Mercy. And kind of a mistake here. You guys decide to rush straight to point. This really isn't a good idea, as I do remember you guys losing this fight. So the problem is that if you do not get control of this platform, and if you're not even thinking of rotating to top here to try and clear the Ana and the Widow, if you're running straight to point, you guys get shot from here, you guys get shot from here, right? And there's just two angles which your tanks just has no way of defending. Like you guys are only running one Rhine shield, so there's no way to block shots coming from both angles. And as well as because you're running an Echo Mercy, so the Echo can take high ground from this angle. So effectively you guys could get shot from all three angles. Because they're running a Hawk with some of range attack as well. So you see? So you guys just run into the open here. Nothing much you can do. I mean, even if you were to like run in through here, you guys still get shot by the enemy Echo. The Echo could reposition here and shoot you guys. Echo could reposition here to shoot you guys, and as well as the Widow is gonna keep shooting at you guys. And if you're gonna contest the point here, then the enemy Reinhardt as well as Hawk can just hug around this corner and just contest the point, keep it from getting capped. So yeah, kind of a bad idea to not clear any of the platforms. Yep. So nothing much you guys can do. You can see that you guys try your best to fight, but you guys are getting shot from multiple angles. I don't know why the Echo goes to the ground. The Echo should have just stayed on high ground and not get touched at all. But anyway, yeah, you guys try your best. You guys even got anti-naded. Yeah, because it's like the Ana is just here, man. The Ana is here. She has a clear line of sight to everyone, and there's no shield blocking her from anti-nading you guys. So she can like just casually, what's the best target to anti-nade? Okay, the tanks look good. Poop! Anti-nade, and you guys lose. Yeah, your Lucio has a pretty good idea there. Tries to go up there to try and boop the Widow as well as the Ana down, but it's just too late. Once the anti-nade lands, yeah. I mean, you guys were already in a bad position to to begin with, and once the anti-nade lands, it's GG, man. It's good game. Yep. So I think you guys realize the mistake there. So yeah, Zara gets staggered. Unfortunately, yeah. Yeah, so that's gonna waste more time on capping point A. So you guys switch over. So your flex DPS switches over to Sombra, which is really good. I think she gets a pick here, right? I wonder what took her so long just to get this pick on the Ana. Because the Ana was really low. We probably want to get out of position of Anthony, I guess. But you just had to. Yeah. Kind of waited a little bit too long, man. Like, if you wanted to kill the Ana, you could have killed the Ana here. Just is kind of waited a little bit too long. I guess he was waiting for the team to get into position to push before killing, so that it would take longer for the Ana to get back to respawn. But then again, they have a mercy, you know. So you gotta think of killing the Ana maybe in a spot like this where it'll be difficult for the mercy to reach the Ana, because you can kind of like gatekeep, just spam a little bit of damage so that the mercy can't just walk in and heal her. Yeah, so that was a little bit of a mistake from the Sombra there. Sombra could have killed Ana a lot earlier and prevented the mercy from rezzing. So instead, she gets rest. Then that kill was didn't do much, just for the Sombra to get charged. And for the flex DPS here, if you're playing a Sombra, I would suggest putting your translocator somewhere that's near the enemy point. Like, you don't really want, like, the winning condition for whenever you run a Sombra is your EMP. So you want to farm your EMP ASAP. So you want to do as much damage as you can to farm your EMP, and you want to keep your downtime as little as possible. So like, you want to keep yourself from doing as how should I express it? Like, you want to keep your intervals between when you translocate back and going back into the fight. You want to keep this interval to be as small as possible. So you want to like translocate back, quickly grab a health pack, and then put down a translocator and get back into the fight and get back to doing damage. Because so if you're putting your translocator a little bit too far like this, you are really giving yourself too much downtime, and your EMP farming is gonna be very limited. Your effectiveness of your EMP farming is gonna be very limited. So you really want to like think of if you want, maybe you want to play Sombra a little bit more often in quick play or ranked, and just think of putting translocators in kind of like odd corners where probably the enemy wouldn't suspect. Like maybe like a corner, probably like corner, I don't know, like here, like up here. You can chuck it here, or maybe you can like just chuck it in a corner, like maybe here, like some corners that they wouldn't really want to take a look, like maybe, or maybe you can like with invisibility go around, like chuck it in a corner here. Like if you're gonna chuck it too far back, right? If you're gonna chuck it here, it's gonna be a little bit too far for you to get back to doing DPS. So you want to put it as near as possible. Most of the time, Sombra players, like good Sombra players, they just chuck the translocator like somewhere that is along the path to the enemy team. Like if they're going through here and here, they just chuck the translocator here and then go invis and just do damage. So you do damage, and they translocate back. So they see somewhere here, grab a health pack, cooldown refreshes, chuck a translocator, and then go back to doing damage. So yeah, this what I've been noticed is that Plum Papa's translocator positioning has been a little bit too far away from the fights. So he has quite a significant amount of downtime. Like, he has to run really long just to get back into the fight, just doing damage. So because you see, when the Sombra is here, yeah, I mean, yep, nice win. So nice win there. Yeah, like this translocator is a lot better. Like, this translocator is a lot nearer to the fight. So at least you translocate back here, you can instantly chuck another translocator and get back to help your team. Clutch shatter from the enemy Reinhardt there. And you guys get anti-nated again. Yep. So even though that was a good pick on the enemy Widow, and Plum Papa tries to just 1v1 the Mercy, which is a good idea. Oh, nice sleep dart. Really nice sleep dart. Yeah. So Plum Papa was basically 1v3 there. But yeah, because of that nice Earth Shatter from the Red Reinhardt there, so kind of they kind of roll over your tanks at the front line. He dies, yeah. Nothing he can do from range. Okay. So, yep. So we're gonna still go with our Graph EMP. So our win condition for Team Yetis here, the win condition will be the Graph EMP. So, yeah, Sombra still has to get back to farming damage. Yeah, she got sniped. Yeah, she got sniped. Almost died there. They really have to get back to farming damage, so I have to put your Translocate somewhere closer. Yeah, this spot. Yeah, this spot is not too bad. Throwing a graph here. Yeah, this graph was a big fail. I remember seeing this, but I did see this from the perspective of the Zara player, Dusty Taco, and it was just a bit too much hesitation in throwing the graph. Like he did see the Rhine and the Hog like in his line of sight. So he was thinking that the graph will probably catch both of them. But he hesitated for a split second and the Hog managed to get enough spacing, like pull back just enough to not get caught in the graph. So this is just like inexperience from Dusty Taco as a Zara player there. So his instincts of when to throw the graph is kind of slow. But this is something that it can only come with experience. Like you just have to play a lot more Zarya. And gonna get a feel of the split second whereby you see the slight opportunity, a good window where you can see like two or more enemy players clumped up in a good spot and just immediately throw a grab. So yeah, so this just it's just too bad. But at least you guys kill. Let me Ryan. EMP hits 2, not too bad. Hits 1 and 2. 2, yeah, hits 2. And you guys should push on the Hawk there. Okay, so a bit scattered there. The focus fire was not really there. But yeah, good EMP. So basically should just clean up this fight. So you guys win this point, right? Simple enough. And you guys rotate to... Okay, same. Because you're a Broadcom, you can't go down the middle, so you guys rotate over here. Which is fine. There. See? This player, Scroots, previously he was flanking on a McCree, now he flanks on an Echo, but it's the same. So he takes audacious flanks that just goes unpunished. Okay, but in this case, as an Echo player, he can like out an enemy Rhine and then she gets a free life. So yeah. Okay. Total fail on the charge there. Oh my god, total fail. But I think they still win this fight. Yeah, it just manages to reach your players. Yeah, so Earth Shatter as well as a whole hawk. Yeah, no way you guys could have won this. So just lose this and we go again. Right, get out if you can. You don't want to farm too much. You don't want to give the enemy too much damage. Either get out or die. Yep. So we go again. So at the same time, our win condition is trying to get a graph up and the EMP up. So Plum Papa chucks his translocator down here. Not too bad, not too bad. Other spots, translocator spots, I'm guessing is like maybe around here is fine. Here, maybe here, maybe even here. It's a bit risky, but maybe even there you could try that in some of your ranked games or quick play. See whether if anybody discovers it. Chucking it, yeah, like in this spot, in this corner is actually not too bad. Here is kind of obvious though. Yeah, this is an obvious spot for them to check. This is near the Mega Health Pack. Or what other good spots are there to chuck a translocator? Maybe just chuck it around here. But this is not near a health pack though. Yeah. But I mean, it is as long as it's near to your healers, it's fine. You can chuck it here, ask for heals, and then just get back to the fight. Okay. So yep, Sombra has to do damage. Okay. Yeah. So if I'm the Sombra, like I would chuck it around. Yeah. You see, this is not a bad spot. Just chuck it around here. Yep, that's pretty good. A good spot. Minimizes the downtime. Get back to the fight. Get back to doing damage. Sombra really has to. What? She's trying to get assassination. Okay. So team rotates over. I think Sombra is trying to get assassination. They're trying to assassinate Anna, I think. Oh, oh my god. That sleep dart. Wait a minute. How did she land that sleep dart?
I have your back.
Oh my god. Yeah. She saw you just phase out and just landed that sleep dart like nothing. That's just being outplayed. That's just a straight outplay there. Good thing that that Sombra still managed to phase out. Ah, okay, so Reaper manages to get into the back line. Nice Blossom there, nice Blossom. Gets into the back line, Blossoms, kills 2. And, yep, he gets an EMP, kills off the Hawk, and you guys have this. Yep. So pretty good. This is a pretty good game. The win conditions were pretty well defined. Once you get a Sombra as well as a Zarya, it's just a Graph. Like there's two win conditions. You could either have a Graph EMP or you could have a Graph Blossom. But in this case, even though like the combos didn't really line up, yeah, just like a Blossom by itself, kill off two people is a win condition. An EMP by itself, you catch the Hawk as well as you catch the Mercy, then you can kill them off. Or if you catch both tanks, like you can EMP the Rhine and the Hawk, then they can't heal, they can't bring up their shields, they can't Earth Shatter, then you can, yeah, just kill them off. So overall pretty good.